We've had experiences at this church where superintendents and school board leaders and principals have seen our heart for what they care about and followed us to this church.
Yeah. And this goes back to our youth group years ago. So in Papelmar was like a mission trip to our hometown, service project oriented, staying in the community, etc. And last year we made the transition of, rather than it just being our church and like look at Encounter, putting on the t-shirts and like being the super Christians, whatever in town, like let's open it up and invite other churches into it. It's non-threatening. It was very, we're gonna make community gardens together. Hopefully, pun intended, cross-pollinating a little bit among the churches and people in our community. You know, it was moderately successful in that regard. An entry point where we didn't have to like theologically vet each other first.
Right.
Hey, Jesus is God. Want to bless others with free vegetables? Okay, let's do it.
Right. The awkwardness of dealing with a lot of churches is a very real competition aspect of things.
That's real.
We benefited from the fact that there was really very little way.
We weren't planting gardens to steal people from their churches.
Steal people from your children's ministry.
And vice versa. Yeah. It's non-threatening, it's small. It's a way to get started to plant the seed, if you will, in the future.
So many puns.
I will sow them responsibly. Big picture, it provides a centering point for churches in our community and others in our community to kind of do something. Increasingly understanding that we are in this together as churches. And we've talked about this a lot, but I think the 50-year forecast for the Christian church in America is like, we got to wake up and like realize we're on the same team, cognizant of the church around the corner as we're doing ministry. And this is a small step towards that.
You and I are pretty passionate about getting to know our community leaders, getting to know who runs our school districts, getting to know what matters to them and what really affects them. Where you're meeting their needs, it's not an ends to a means in your ministry. In our church's case, it's the superintendents and charity leaders and the food bank pioneers and all these people that are actually moving and shaking in our town.
It's getting away from this conception of let's build up this institution or fortify this bulwark. I don't think that that's a viable way to do church moving forward increasingly. To get to partnership, it feels like you have to set aside for a moment like what's good for the institution.
Yes, that's well said. What I was pleasantly surprised to find was just the very skills and tools that are developed as a church leader are very applicable and needed in your town. The understanding of how to mobilize people on mission, the understanding of how to care for their mind, body, and soul needs. Now we live in that church and state thing and everybody's dancing on that line, but the truth is when you prove that you're a real asset to them as a human being, very real doors open for you that you thought wouldn't even be possible. It's an undervalued asset to the community if it just stays in the building of the church, and I think even our partners have realized that.
To the degree that our superintendent and our principal are understanding themselves to be in like the people business.
Exactly.
Which I think they are.
They are.
And our day-to-day is oriented towards pouring into the community and individuals and investing. Obviously, the sharing Christ aspect is different for them, but otherwise, it's a common ground that we meet on.
I have discovered that to be encouraging and surprising, and their openness to it was the most surprising part.
Should we take a straw poll in the room of whether or not Brian Hoke should grow his hair back out?
Brian could force us into a new look just by sheer audacity. He could just show up looking.
Yeah, and you would criticize him on it, and he would just stare you down.
Yeah, he'd be like,
with a smile.
Have you ever worn teal pants in public? I have. So you don't deserve to comment on this.
He's waking up with more self-esteem than I've ever had and ever will.
And as he should.
He's rolling out of bed. He whips open the bottom dresser drawer, and there's
nothing but
where
pastels.
does one keep your?
As far as
it's just like a Easter hand grenade exploded in the drawer.
You know, when are we going to stop talking and start implementing some of these? I mean, he's your bishop, and it's monkey see, monkey do. We all know that.
Yeah, these shoes are cool, man.
Yeah, they are cool.